First things first, this video is going to be using fairly mild language, but it is going to be dealing with issues of consent and abuse, and if those things are triggering for you, please stop watching, because the entire point of this video is for everyone to feel as safe as possible. In this video, I'm going to be taking the U Coalition Safer Communities Pledge. I want to keep this video relatively short, but a few quick things first. This video is not about the multitude of abusive instances in the YouTube community per se. Lots of other people have said much smarter, more eloquent things on that subject, and I will put links in the description. I'm making this video because while I do believe that pretty much everybody who is likely to watch this video probably already has very strong yes means yes views on consent, I also think that this is always an important conversation to have. Independent of the issues in the YouTube community, and if you're watching this and you don't know what those are, it's important for all of us to be concerned with building safer communities. Whatever those communities that you are a part of are, online, offline, wherever, we should all be striving to make those communities as safe as possible for everybody involved. And part of how we do that is by reminding people what consent looks like, by modeling that and continuing to have this conversation. Even when it feels like we're preaching to the choir, it is always a useful exercise to remind people in our communities to behave decently and to treat each other well. While rape culture uses media and contemporary discourse to model really dangerous, damaging examples, this is a way that we can counter that. This is a way that we can say, here is how you should behave. It is important that we start with these changes with ourselves, with the thing that we can most directly impact. The only person whose behavior we have control over is ourselves, so that is where we have to start. And so I'm not the least bit concerned with this being redundant. I kind of actively hope that this is a thing that you see a bunch of times, because this conversation is important. Even if you don't take the pledge, I hope that you find ways to continue and advance this conversation in your communities, wherever or whatever they may be. And so, I pledge that I will always prioritize consent. I understand that consent is the presence of an enthusiastic yes rather than the absence of a no, and that consent cannot be given when someone is asleep or physically or mentally incapacitated. I pledge that I will respect my partner's wishes and that I will not pressure or coerce them into doing anything that makes them uncomfortable. I pledge to stand with survivors of sexual abuse or harassment by showing them compassion and respect. I pledge to never blame the victim for any abuse they have experienced. Sexual violence is never the victim's fault. I pledge to admit when I make mistakes and to apologize for my actions. When someone tells me that I've said something sexist, victim-blaming, or otherwise offensive, I pledge to be open to their words. I pledge to support conversations surrounding sexual abuse and harassment in a way that is respectful of my needs and the needs of those that I am speaking with. I pledge to create safer communities, both online and off. I will put links in the video description or below this video if you're watching it on my blog. Just below this video, there will be links to more information about the pledge, and I sincerely hope that you take it, or at the very least, make that pledge with yourself, even if you don't, post it anywhere. That's fine. Just do those things. Do those things, model that behavior, and hopefully all of our communities will be a little bit better for it.
Got him. Got him. Nailed it.
It's like €5 wine. Let's be real.